Herbert Brieger was one of the Nazi Party's most prominent documentary makers, and he was sent on several occasions to the Basque Country to make his travel documentaries. A new film tries to discover why the Nazi Party was so interested in this part of the world, and also brings his son Nicholas into the story, who must come to terms with his own Nazi heritage.
The Germans were here filming several documentaries about the Basques, and the only one that is still in existence is the one that we deal with in our documentary. It's called In the Land of the Basques, and it was filmed by a prestigious German documentary filmmaker. It reveals aspects about what the Germans thought about the Basques.
During the documentary made in the early 40s, Brieger attempted to connect this idyllic corner of the world with the Nazi ideology. One part of the film likens the traditional Basque lauburu to the Nazi swastika, despite the lauburu dating back to 200 BCE. Why was he so eager to represent these two cultures as being connected?
They had this idea of creating a new Europe. How? By creating alliances and pacts with certain European nationalities that didn't have a specific state, like the Basques.
Some of the Basque nationalists really underlined that the Basque race was a clear race, it was not mixed up with any other races, and so they found a kind of point of contact with the Aryan philosophy and ideology, and that is what makes it really special and very interesting for them to meet the Basque people. The relationship was quite, I would say, good between the Basque and the German occupiers, that there were only very few nationalists, Basque nationalists, who really got in contact with the Nazi occupiers and tried to make some kind of political deal. But never ever, well, we would say the leadership of the party nor the Basque president in exile agreed with this kind of political deal.
The team behind the Basque swastika got in touch with Herbert Brieger's son Nicholas, who is himself a director and actor today. Nicholas Brieger never really knew his father, but the little he did know painted a picture of a man whose relationship with the Nazi Party was purely one of convenience.
He had a bit of an idealized notion of his father. He didn't know very well what his father had done during World War II. He knew that he had been an important filmmaker, but he didn't know to what extent he had been involved with the Nazi regime.
He is pushed out of the guild of cameramans in 44, 45. So I thought he was a little bit against this regime. My name is against this regime. It's a French name. It's not Nikolaus, like the German said. It's Nicolas, like the French did. So it's written with a C, not with a K. But when this group came and they confronted me with this film, I don't know the film before, so suddenly he was one of these persons who support a regime which I hate so by heart, so deeply by heart. So all these questions, how deeply he was involved in this regime, were the first step to come closer to my roots.
I think we always need to discover the truth, even though it hurts, because we get back what we really are.
2 years ago, I have played an officer, a commandant of a concentration camp in Germany, Rechlin. It's a film made by François Duperron. My whole life is touched by our history. And I deeply hoped that my father was not so involved, but I'm not sure.
It is difficult to overstate the bravery of people like Nicholas Brieger, people who value difficult truths over uncomfortable fictions. This is Paul Walsh for Jane 1 in the Basque Country.